Okay, the Alba Bible.
Okay, so the Alba Bible was commissioned at a time when the King of Spain had decided to renounce the expulsion edict that had happened 500 years before. So we were asked to make a copy of the Alba Bible, which is a very interesting document because it was a Christian knight of the Order of Calatrava, which was an order that had traditionally protected the Jews. And he was trying to prove to his fellow theologians that the Old Testament was nothing to be afraid of and that the Hebrew version of it was the same as the Christian version. So he got his emissaries to ask this particular man, who was Rabbi Moshe Rachel, to make a copy in Castilian so that they could understand what the differences were, if any. Well, in the first 25 pages of the book are all the letters that went between Don Solomon de Braga
And Moshe
and
Rachel.
Moshe Rachel. And he said, well, you know, I'm not erudite enough, I can't do this, because he knew that it might incriminate him, because there were a few differences.
It's not so much incriminate. He felt that if he detailed all these reasons, it would just give ammunition to the anti-Semites to fight.
Yes, because it was the
Jews.
time of, Torquemada had already been there, and the Inquisition was in full swing, and but I'll say it was Don Luis de Guzman, not Don
Yes.
Solomon de Braga.
Yes.
Don Solomon de Braga, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so Don Luis de Guzman asked for this beautiful page to be illuminated to show what would happen when he would be presented with the first copy of the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, in Castilian. And here you see the rabbi who's presenting it, and this actually never happened because...
This is the rabbi here.
Yes, this is the rabbi here. You see his mark showing that he's Jewish. And actually it's a document that the rabbi did not shrink from. So there are plenty of elements in here which come from midrashic sources. So, for example, the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden had two distinct different types of fruits and leaves. You see when, for example, Cain kills Abel, he bites him in the neck like a serpent. You see, and there is a book written about the Jewish elements of iconography in this Bible, the Alba Bible, and it became it was a document, for example here, you see that when the Red Sea parted, it parted into 12 channels for each of the tribes of Israel. This is again according to a Midrash.
Now, for somebody that might look at this video,
Yes.
what is your connection to this document?
Our connection is that we made it. We spent a long time. It should have taken us 3 years. We actually had to finish it within 11 months.
This was made for the 500th anniversary of the expulsion of the Jews from Spain. And at that ceremony, which took place on the 31st of March in the palace in Madrid, the King of Spain formally renounced the expulsion. It had never been renounced. And so this was the formal renunciation of the expulsion. And in order to celebrate that, a very good friend of ours, he became a very good friend of ours, Mauricio Hatchwell Toledano in Madrid, he commissioned the facsimile edition of the Alba Bible. And that was presented to the King and the Queen. And we
By
were,
us.
By us.
Yes.
We were there.
With the President of Israel.
We were there, yeah.
It was the King and the Queen of Spain.
And you can see a picture of us on the website.
Yes.
With them. And so we were commissioned to do this, and this was a massive job. As I said, as Linda said, it would normally have taken 3 years at least.
I can't believe you did it in 11 months.
We did it
Yeah.
in 11 months.
That's amazing.
We did it all in
We
11 months.
were on a plane, at least one plane, probably two every week. Linda
Yeah.
was shuttling backwards and forwards between Madrid and Milan, and we're doing the colour corrections.
And standing by the machine.
I was also obviously very much involved too in different aspects, and we got it done.
Yep.
Wow.
And it is the first translation of the Hebrew Bible into Castilian.